this is Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. So today I thought I would do a response to a hashtag. So this is a VR to Logan at Lark and Legend, and this is the hashtag Forever Decks. So our decks that we could never imagine letting go of, that we're going to keep forever, or at this point in time, whatever decks we've got that we think of in that category. And it doesn't have to be really old decks. I mean, it can be, or it could be something fairly new that you've acquired that you know will never go anywhere. So I thought I'd give this one a go. Now, warning guys, it may be quite long because I've got quite a few decks. I'll try not to be too slow. But so if first of all we're going to start out, I've got mostly tarot decks as well. I've only got a couple of oracles, so we'll see how it goes. So we're going to start out with the RWS decks, and we'll get that out of the way. So the first one is my Pamela Coleman Smith RWS tarot, that is also affectionately called the Dirty Pam. And this one, I love this, and this always, if I want a quick answer or a deck just to grab fairly quickly, I'll always go for this one. And this was also gifted to me by my friend Simon over at the Hermit's Cave a few years back now, but it's always such a good reader for me. This one always gives really good answers. So very often, although I'll use my other decks, this will be the one that I'll grab for. So yeah, so there's that. So that is the Pamela Coleman Smith RWS, or the Dirty Pam, because of the colouring as well, the colourway on this one, which I love. Not that I dislike the other colourways, but this one, I love it. And because, you know, it was gifted to me as well, I even keep it in this little bag. It just about fits in it. So yeah, so that's that one. Second RWS, of course, I keep it in this bag. This is my 1971 RWS Blushing Fool, and this I love. I do use it, but I also like to just sit and like shuffle it or look through it, because of the feel of the cards, that matte smooth feeling of the cards, you know, how they were in the 70s. And this deck's in really good condition actually, and I got it for a really good price on eBay, because these go for over 100 usually, and I didn't pay that, so I was really lucky, and that it's in good condition, and that it's a Blushing Fool. But I wouldn't have minded, to be fair, if it hadn't have been a Blushing Fool, if it would have just been a blue box RWS. Just the feel, for the feel of the cards and everything, I would have been fine with. So but the fact that it's a Blushing Fool obviously adds to it. So that's that one. And the other RWS I've got, and again I got this for a really good price, because at the time they weren't going for loads of money, this one, and I think this is from about 1990, something like that. I don't think it actually says on it, but it's Chandos Place is the one anyway. And this again, this is very similar really to the other blue box. This feels really nice. There might be a slight difference to the cardstock, but not a huge amount. And this one again is in really lovely condition, but I've seen these now going for like 80 and upwards. And when I got this, I think I got this for about £30 or something. It wasn't expensive. I remember that it wasn't expensive. Don't worry about that, guys. That always happens whenever I film. It will stop eventually. So yeah, so this one, like I say, I think it's from about 1990, something like that. And like I say, it's in really good condition. So yeah, I'm really happy to have that, and I could never like let it go, especially now. I'd never get another one for that price. The box is a little bit battered, but you'd expect that. So yeah, so those are my RWS ones. Another one that I could never let go is in a Kelly Bear. It's another Forever deck in a Kelly Bear pouch that doesn't actually match the deck, but I don't care, it fits nicely in it. I don't worry about colours and things like that. Is the Forest of Enchantment deck, and I love this deck. This deck is like, it's like my soul deck for me, because it reminds me of like growing up, and you know, because my dad worked in forestry, so we lived in the forest. So this speaks to me so much about that, and about things that I love, and my like sort of pagan practice and everything as well. And this is a lovely deck, really nice. It's a Llewellyn, and the cardstock is a little bit shiny, but not like a really high gloss. So it comes with a really nice big guidebook, you know, in one of their nice sets that they do. I edged it in green to kind of match the backs, so I managed to do that reasonable. So there's that one. Like I said, this might be quite long, guys. I mean, probably I could have even added more decks than I've got here already, but and why is it when you're filming, decks never go back into their bags or boxes properly or easily? Okay, so the next one is my first edition Alice Tarot in the box. Now, I'd even thought about like selling this, but I can't. I just can't. This will always stay. I got this from when they first came out, and I also got the standard edition as well, so I've got the standard first edition of this deck as well, which I have used, but this one I haven't. And I know people are going to say, well, you know, why have a deck if you're not going to use it? But look, it's even still it's even still in its plastic. I know. I mean, maybe one day. I think probably as well I kept it in that in case I did ever want to sell it. But I mean, I think it would sell even if it didn't have the plastic. But I'm not going to, because it's with this and the standard deck. I mean, I could, you know, sell the standard deck even, but I bought these with the last actual wages that I got from my library job before I got made redundant. So there's that. I know it might sound a bit silly, but see, this is a nice silk bag as well. So that's another reason that I'm like, I can't. And what's amazing is, look, it's number 499 of 500. Just about got in there. So yeah, so it's another one that I can't let go for, you know, reasons like that. It's like sentimental reasons, I suppose. And you know, I have used the Alice Tarot, the standard one, and that's lovely as well. And you've got the cold stamping and everything. God, why is this table wobbly? So yeah, so that's the Alice Tarot. And I do have other Bubba Studios decks, but I didn't get them all out. But really, all of them I would never let go of. I have the standard Alice, the Bohemian Gothic, the Bohemian Cats, Fantastic Menagerie 2nd edition, Tarot of Prague, which we're about to look at, and the Victorian Romantic. So yeah, so there's that. And then the Tarot of Prague, which is the limited edition one. I think it's out of print now. I know the standard edition is, because you can't get that anymore. And this one was so kindly gifted to me by a lovely friend in the US, and so kind of her to do this. So you've got the certificate. This is number 667 of 900. And this deck, I have used it, but I don't use it a huge amount. And as you can see, the cards are huge. And you've got that lovely like cold stamping on there. I mean, look, if the light catches it just right, you can see that. But it's a lovely deck. I would have liked to have tried to have got the standard one as well, but as I said, it's out of print, and to try and get one would be like silly money. So it's fine, I have this one. And look at this silver gilding on the back, and look at the amount of detail in that, well, not gilding, cold stamping. So nice. And this cold stamping, you know, it's different to actual gilding on cards. So yeah, so really lovely deck. Yeah, I could never let this go, because one, it's a lovely deck, I love it, and also obviously because it was gifted to me. And it was a very lovely, kind and generous gift. I'll never forget when I opened it, I was like, you know, total shock, because I just couldn't believe that somebody would send me something like this. It was amazing. So yeah, so I love that one too. So that is in there. I'm just trying to make room for everything now. So there's that. Another one that is in a wooden box is my 1st edition Brady Tarot. Love this one. It comes with a nice guidebook, if I can get it out. And the cards just sit in here, but these are so nice. And they're standard tarot size. So I'm sorry about the wobbly bits with this table, guys. I'm not doing such a good job with this video. So yeah, I mean, just look. And it's rose petal finish, but really nice. you've got like the gilding on the sides, but it's such a nice animal deck, and I quite like that you've got like words on it like anguish for the 9 of arrows, and you know, rivalry, you know, that just can help you a bit, especially if you're a beginner. So yeah, I do really love this, and the fool feeding the cuckoo in the nest. But oh, it's such a nice feel. These are the backs, and this is the first edition. I know there is a second edition now, which also doesn't come in the wooden box, but it comes in a really nice black box by the look of it. From what I've seen, the box looks really nice. I don't know if any of the cards have changed or if they're a different size in that one, but yeah, this is a forever deck. I could never, and at the time I actually bought 2 because I bought one for a friend as well as a Christmas present. So that is the Brady Tarot limited first edition. So next, let's move that one out of the way as well. Next we have, now some of you will be like, oh my god, it's the Syrian Starseed Tarot. Now I know this would not be a lot of people's choice, I know, but I've had this deck for years, from whenever the cards are even a little bit kind of bent out of shape a little bit. I'm not sure, let me just see. Yeah, 2012 this deck. So and the cards are just absolutely massive, really huge, and they're glossy, and you can see how it's kind of bent a little bit out of shape, but it's fine. But it's another one that it just, for some reason, the images just do speak to me. I mean, it wouldn't be for everyone. Not everyone would like this deck. I do. I just love this deck, and like I say, it's never one that I look at and think, oh well, shall I sell it? There's just no way. I just love the imagery. It just speaks to me. I mean, look at this Ace of Crystals, but it's like these people as well, as if I could reach into the card and touch them. And of course this here, if anyone's ever been to Glastonbury, they've changed the name here of course, but this part is the shop called Stone Age Crystal Shop in Glastonbury. They've just used the wall of it, but I don't know if they call this photo manipulation or whatever, but I do really love this. And again, that is the tour, Glastonbury. And again, and when I bought this deck, I'd never even been to Glastonbury, so I didn't buy it for Glastonbury images, and not all of the cards are anyway, but there's just something about this deck. I can't imagine not having it. So yeah, I do really love it, and I don't mind about the cards being huge, even though I've not got huge hands. I mean, look at that crystal skull. It doesn't bother me. I love it because you just get more of the image, and it's like, you know, it's like some of the people almost, you know, like they're looking right into me. So this deck definitely speaks to me. As I said, it definitely wouldn't be for everyone, because a lot of people would hate the huge cards and possibly the fact that it's glossy and stuff, but I do really like it, and yeah, that's definitely a forever deck, a definite keeper. Another one is my Hesychos Tarot. This has been out of print for some time. I've had this deck for years, again a long time, and you can see that the colour has even started to fade on the sides of the box, obviously where the light or sunlight or whatever's caught it. Love that the guidebook looks like one of those exercise books like you would have got at school as a kid, and it is colour. Like I said, I'm sorry that some of these decks are out of print, but you know, they are my like forever decks. So yeah, I love the colours in this. I love the little sort of elf guys or pixies or whatever you want to call them. I mean, look at him, how cute is that? And her, and these girls. And all of the courts are just like large faces, very close up. Love this one, the 3 of coins. It's such a cool deck. I think it's the little guys that drew me to it. Love this strength card, look at that with the tigers. So again, there's just, oh, I just couldn't, no way could I part with this. So yet another forever deck there, as they all are. And it reads well too. For me it does. I mean, again, we're all different, but then it would be boring if we weren't, wouldn't it, if we all liked the same things. So yeah, that is the Hesychos Tarot. Next is the Tildwyk Tarot, and I wanted this for years and years, and as soon as I found out that they were releasing a 2nd edition, because the original creator had passed away, but his brother released this 2nd edition, and you see this is the original creator, 1971 to 2018. That's a little bit about him, but this deck, I love it. Look at the colour of these edges, like this copper gilding, and the cards just feel amazing. Their cardstock, I don't know what it is, but I love it. It's quite thick, but it would bend, you know. It's not too thick, but it's definitely not thin, and it's a lovely matte finish. And these I just love because they're, you know, it's like being in a big house and garden, and I tend to use this deck a lot for path working. Obviously you can use it as a traditional tarot, and I have done, but I do like to path work with this, or to pull cards and see what story it gives me. What story can I make from the cards? And that's how I tend to use this deck more, is for like path working, and you know, to tell a story or have a story for myself from these cards. So yeah, I love this, and I half wish that I had bought a 2nd one as a backup when they were available, because now of course it is out of print. But I'm just glad that I've got this one, and I do, you know, look after my decks, so I'm just happy that I've actually got one at least of these, because I've got a couple of their Lenormand decks that they also do, the same company that make this, and they're really nice cardstock and everything as well. So that is the Tildwyk Tarot, 2nd edition. another one. Now this is an unusual one. This is the Templar Tarot, the Journey, and I don't know if this is out of print. It might be. This is from 2009, and it's by Alan Chester, who's the artist, and Stephen Defoe is the author, and published by Inspired by Design. But this may well be out of print. For some weird reason, I've always had like a kind of interest or thing about the Knights Templar. I don't know why, it's weird, but this is like its own system really, and there's a lot in the guidebook, like historical content. So I don't really use this very much. I love the cards though, and I should use it more, and I might actually, you know, start getting into this, into like the whole historical content, divinatory meanings and stuff, read the whole book like properly, because I've only skimmed it. I mean, at the moment I'm doing like the Wildwood like study, and you can't like do everything. But these cards, they're in like 2 separate piles, because if I remember, there's like 2 separate sides to it, something like that. I think. See, it's so long. See, it's bad really. It's so long since I took the deck out. But the cards are lovely. That pile's upside down probably. I mean, look, and they're matte, which is, you know, for a deck that was printed in 2009, but they are really nice cards. And you know, it's a shame actually that I haven't worked with this more, or tried to work with it more, and I will do, because I do really love it, and I couldn't let it go, because it's unusual as well. It's different, as you can see, in the colours. So I think what we've got is the majors and the minors, haven't we, here in separate piles. So, but it is kind of different to work with, I'm sure. You know, even though we've got the usual Rider-Waite kind of names. I mean, look at this devil card. Look at this card. Seriously, it's so good. I love that devil card. I love the tower as well. But anyway, so that is the Templar Tarot, the Journey, it's called. And like I say, I don't know if you can still get this. I remember, I've got a feeling I had to actually email the creators for this deck to actually get it. I'm sure I did, but it was such a long time ago now that I got the deck. But look at the amazing blues in that card. These are all going to be mixed up now, but it's fine. It's fine, I don't mind. It's got to be mixed up to use it, hasn't it? Whatever. I'll sort it out later. Oh God. I'm going to be sorting decks after this, guys, putting things back properly. So that again, I should have shown you again. That's the front cover. And it just says Templar Tarot, the Journey on the sides. It's like a book. Okay, so next is another one that I was gifted by a friend, and it took me a while to use it because you know, other people had touched it, and this is what my friend put in with it, and I always keep that with it, and it still smells. makes the deck smell lovely, and it still smells even now, and this was a few years ago. But I love this. This is the Ethereal Visions, of course, and it doesn't come edged, but it was already edged by my friend. So yeah, and it took me a while with this deck because it was like it didn't want to work with me, and so and this wasn't you know, because the deck had been handled by somebody other than my friend, it was like it had got some kind of bad energy on it. So I just saged and Palo Santo'd the crap out of it, and now it works really well. It's fine. I just had to leave it for a while and just sage it and everything, and then it was great. So again, I never part with this because it works really well now. And obviously, you know, because I put, like, I suppose, effort into cleansing it and everything, and the fact that it was a gift, and the sort of bad energy thing was nothing to do with my friend at all. So I love this one. There is actually now, I don't think it's out in the UK yet, but it's coming out, is the Lunar edition to this, which instead of the gold gilding, you've got silver gilding, and I think some of the cards have changed to be a bit more inclusive. So I'm going to try and get that one when it comes out. It might be interesting to like do a side by side or something if I do get it. But yeah, and so this is a special deck, and I always leave this stuff in with it. The lid just about fits on. So that's the Ethereal Visions Tarot. Then I have Tarot of the She. Again, I've had this for years. I edged it in black, but I left the borders on because I didn't want to trim it, because I like the fact that I could edge it in black and it really matches well. But this is another one that I've had it for years. It's got quite a strong voice, I think, this deck. It's like, you know, working with the Fae, but it's also got kind of like an otherworldly energy to it as well, like almost as if some of them are more alien like beings. So yeah, I do love it. I love the artwork. I don't mind that the cardstock's glossy. They are large cards. Again, I don't mind, but it's a great one to work with. But it's a kind of a kick your butt deck, I think. It's a strong energy, and it will tell you it like it is, whether you want to hear that or not. So yeah, it's a good one, and I'm sure this is still available, mass market. So yeah, really nice one. A lot of people do trim it, and that's fine. However, you know, it works for you, works best for you is fine. Have you noticed none of the cards want to go back in their boxes today? But never mind, we'll get there. Okay, so that's Tarot of the She, and that is like readily available. Next is quite a new one actually to my collection, is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Now, I've wanted this deck forever. It's been on my wish list forever, and I finally got it for Christmas from my lovely friend Simon over at the Hermit's Cave, and I was so happy when I opened this deck. I was like, oh, I finally got it. And it's edged in this lovely silver gilding, and this is an amazing deck. I love it. I love the artwork, the kind of fairy tale vibe to it. I mean, look at this, that's just so nice. It's the title card. And I love how some of the figures you can like see through them as if they are like spirits, but you can see a ship and you can see the water through her. So good. I absolutely love it. I love this strength card because it's like he's cuddling into her. I love that. Look at this death card. So good. So this is a going nowhere deck ever. No way. I love it. And then, like I said, I've only had it since December, but I love it already. I knew I would, and it's just taken so long to get it, and I'm so glad that I have now got it to work with. And it's got like a lovely, like gentle energy to it, I feel like, anyway, for me. So that is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. So next we have another really old tarot, actually. This is the Londa Tarot. It's out of print, and this, I'd thought about selling it, but you can see how tatty the box is. And I got this, I did get it secondhand. But these, again, now if you can find them, go for a lot of money. When is it from? I think it's the 80s, this deck. Yes. Oh no, 1993. But I love this. It just, I mean, it's very thin people that look almost alien-esque, but it gives me 80s like metal band vibes. This does, on some of the guys, oh, and the women as well depicted. I mean, like this, look, for the moon. I just love it because it just reminds me of some of the bands that I loved when I was a teenager. I still do love some of them, the like metal bands and rock bands and stuff, and this is what it reminds me of. It also reminds me of a film that I loved when I was younger. It was called Trick or Treat, and it was about a boy in high school that loved a particular rock band, and the lead singer died. He was in like a metal band, and it's got Gene Simmons in it from Kiss, and he plays a DJ, and he gives this record to this boy that is the last recording of this guy that's died, and he plays it backwards, and the spirit of this person kind of comes out of the record and gets the boy to do things to people and stuff. It's like high school. I say boys, like in high school, but it's such a good film. I think I love it. I've still got it, a DVD of it. But yes, this is the Londa Tarot, and again, these are the backs, just quite plain backs, but I do really like it, and it does read well for me. So yeah, it's another one that is not going anywhere. And again, wouldn't be to everyone's taste, but yeah, that's the good thing about tarot decks though, isn't it? Because there's so many that you know, we've got such choice that we don't all have to like sort of the same. I'll sort that out later. Like the same thing. And the final tarot deck I'm going to show is the Watcher Angel Tarot. This is another one that I've had for years, and I do have the big guidebook that goes with it that you had to buy separately. And this is from 2011. So again, is out of print. It does come with a little mini guidebook, which you can see is yellowing with age. But it's another one that, so it's based on the fallen angels, which were also called the Watchers, who came down to Earth and mated with human women when they weren't supposed to, and were thrown out of heaven because of that. But I like the artwork. I like that we've got this grey. See, again, it's like, I suppose, borders within borders, but I do like it. But it's one where, again, I've looked at it a few times and thought about letting it go, and for some reason I just can't. And it was one that I got from eBay from a seller that used to be on there, and they were called something like Psychic Bazaar or something like that, and they stopped selling on eBay. They just closed the shop in the end. And this is one of the last decks that I got from them. They used to have some really good decks at reasonable prices that were like imported from the US or whatever. So yeah, so that is the Watcher Angel Tarot, which is quite a cool deck. And like I said, I've had it a while. As you see, it's from 2011, so it's getting quite old. I probably should have like edged it in black or something, but I never have edged it. I won't now. But yeah, we'll sort that out later as well. God, don't you sometimes, seriously, don't you hate tuck boxes? That's it. That's done it. So the Watcher Angel Tarot. And then I've just got a couple of Oracle decks. One of which, of course, this will be no surprise to anyone that I could never let this go. And this is the Mists of Avalon Oracle, which works so well for me and is just perfect deck for me. And I love this, and I use this quite a lot. The cards are getting slightly battered around the edges now. Maybe I'll need to get a backup. But I do love this because, of course, it's all Glastonbury Avalon, so it totally speaks to me. I love it. Yeah, this just would never go anywhere. And like I say, if it starts to get too tatty around the edges, you can see like the corners. I might get a backup, but we'll see. But I love that. So yeah, that is the Mists of Avalon Oracle, and is a really good, really nice deck. I could maybe edge this in brown or green or something. Anyway, that is a nice one, and it's mass market. You can get it easily from Amazon or other places. That is the Mists of Avalon Oracle. And the final deck is a indie Oracle, which again I've had for years. This is the first edition of the Connected and Free Alchemist Oracle. The cardstock on this is so yummy, I'm telling you, it's so good. You could just sit there feeling it. It's matte and it's silky and so nice. And this is from the creator of the Lumina Tarot as well, and it's just such a nice deck. I think with the second edition some of the cards were changed, or there was additions to it, but like I say, this is the first edition, which I do love. Had it for some time, so again it's not going anywhere. It's definitely a forever deck. So yeah, I love this one with the little mouse and the logs. So yeah, so that is the Connected and Free Alchemist Oracle deck, first edition. So yeah, guys, that is my forever decks. Thank you to Logan at Larkin Legend for this hashtag. I hope everyone enjoyed seeing my forever decks, and yeah, if anyone else wants to do this tag, that would be great to see everyone else's forever decks too. So yeah, and hopefully I'll be back soon with a walkthrough, and I will see you all then. Bye for now.